TomatoGhost, we've just been informed you've been parroting the wrong show.
Hachi machi. So, which show was I supposed to be parodying?
If you want to do it,
Ah, fuck.
Here's something that doesn't need an introduction. The Simpsons! It's become a worldwide phenomenon and is easily one of the best shows on TV. Well, was. I'd say season 2 to 8 is the sweet spot. I grew up with it and you probably did too. I also grew up with video games and played a fair few Simpsons games in my time. The Simpsons Hit and Run was the main one I had fond memories for, but recently I've discovered this oddity.
Now this could go one of two ways. This could be a hidden gem, a classic. Or go the way of Simpsons skateboarding. And that would be terrible.
Oh, that is satisfying. It reminds me of the old Simpsons cartoon studio. Oh, Jesus! Yeah, thanks for that. So, Big Ape Productions, eh? What else have they done then? Well, Herc's Adventure and The Phantom Menace are mentioned, but considering that their very own Wikipedia page is to be deleted due to lack of relevancy, I don't think they're worth getting fussed over. Something seems odd about this title screen. It's just a static image, which, okay, isn't necessarily odd, especially for the PS1, but it just plays the theme of The Simpsons. That would normally be fine in any other context, but here with that image and the title, it just doesn't fit at all. In fact, I didn't even need to cut off the music. The game does it itself. And how about that menu music? Look guys, I know you have your Zeldas and your Sonics, but this is going down as one of the best songs in gaming. It completely fits with the rest of the aesthetic. In all seriousness, the song is bloody awful and sadly is foreshadowing how the rest of the music will go. Don't expect anything that's going to change your life, although I'm not sure why you'd expect that from the Simpsons wrestling. So, what can you expect from Simpsons wrestling then? Well, it's what it says on the tin. You pick from a number of classic Simpsons characters and throw them in a ring to pummel each other. But before we do that, let's pick a character. No, this won't do. What, were these portraits made in MS Paint? I mean, just look at Krusty. Actually, it reminds me of that bootleg Pokemon fighting game. You know the one, that bootleg fan-made game on the Super Nintendo, compared with the studio-made PlayStation game. That should put things into perspective.
3 pages into the script, I'm still ranting about the menus. Good times I had!
As you can tell from the title, Simpsons Wrestling is, well, a wrestling game. In theory. I don't recall seeing wrestlers shuffling about like their legs had gone to sleep, nor is this the face of confidence. That is the face of a man thinking, what the fuck have I gotten myself into? And a fighting game is defined by how good the controls are. Simpsons Wrestling has interesting controls. Instead of combo moves or chaining buttons together, your moves are dictated by your stamina bar. When it gets past a certain threshold, a button will activate and pressing said button will perform a move which is unique to that playable character. In theory, this is a decent and unique system that keeps players on their toes, but it just devolves into button mashing. Even more than the average fighter, it just becomes a mess.
Oh my! Ouch!
Oh, he's got him in the half, Nelson. Oh, he's got him in the full, Nelson. Oh no, the dreaded Aussie, Nelson. And it's at this point I realise Nelson's not even playable.
Speaking of characters, I'm a massive Simpsons fan, so I appreciate the good mix of characters available, such as Homer, Apu, Moe, Ned, and Frink, but Bumblebee Man? Really? Was there such a public outcry for him? Were people marching in the streets demanding that Bumblebee Man be included in this game filled of the most important Simpsons characters? I don't fucking know. From an aesthetic viewpoint, this game doesn't look too bad. Some models are certainly better looking than others, with characters like Moe and Flanders looking alright, but then there are people like Krusty who— oh god!
What the hell was that?
Okay, you might be thinking, well, that's just how the games looked back then, but I didn't say when this game came out. Simpsons Wrestling came out in 2001. Doesn't sound too bad until you take into account this was after the PS2 came out. One thing I will praise though, which is usually the case with most Simpsons games, is that the voice acting is pretty damn good. It's a given considering it's the same cast as the show, and I think at this point it has to be the same cast or else, I don't know, Satan breaks through the earth or something. I also like that characters get to interact with each other before and after matches with a good number of dialogue based on who's fighting who. It makes it worth mixing up who you fight with just to hear all the different lines.
Urge to kill rising? Usually I'd let you go, but I got a nasty temper and been drinking all day.
I'm gonna cream your kidneys and knock your noodle, you know nothing, nitwit.
Not sure how I feel about them being out of character though. Is Homer really okay with choking his wife? How can I even make a joke about that? It's just horrible. Or would Ned feel alright about beating up a little girl?
I just can't dang diddly hit you, Lisa. Well, maybe just once.
Or Ned is just a terrible person. Well, at least it can't get any worse than this.
I'm gonna kill diddly Ilya.
Excuse me?
I'm gonna kill diddly Ilya.
In fact, Ned won't shut up. Like, at all.
Heidi ho! Heidi ho! Heidi ho! Heidi, Heidi, Heidi ho!
I can also appreciate that every character has their own moveset built around them, from quite obscure references like Moe's board with a nail, to obvious choices like Homer bowling and Barney belching.
Very nice, Barney.
In fact, I've got to give them that they must have done their research if the background characters are anything to go by. You have one-off characters like Matt Groening,
Get out of my office!
Corporal Punishment, Aristotle Mandopoulos, and Number 1. You see, I appreciate the nods to classic episodes like that. Going back to movesets, this has got to be the most unbalanced fighting game I have ever played. Characters like Homer and Bart are quite basic, you know, they have projectiles and things, but the real kicker are the unlockable characters. Moe, for example, can hurl some flaming Moes, or Homers, whatever, and set fire to the arena before clobbering people with the aforementioned board with a nail. Bumblebee Man can spawn his little chihuahua and it'll just bite you and pull you back and hold you down and just beat the little fucking shit. Ned, though, once again, is a big problem. One of his moves involves him praying to God and summoning lightning strikes to zap opponents multiple times. Skateboard, lightning. Beer, lightning. Bowling ball, fucking lightning! What's worse is when you pin him down, he's not done. God revives him and gives him an extra life. Only Ned gets that. You have to pin him 4 times a match. What fucking wrestling match has ever involved that? Have you ever seen someone get pinned and counted out only to just stand back up and keep going? No. No, you didn't. Don't tell me you did, because you didn't.
And because this game is so broken, let's type in a few cheats, shall we?
With some cheats, you can access a number of extra characters not on the roster, including Mr. Burns, where you play as Smithers, Kang and or Kodos, who also won't shut up, and an Itchy and Scratchy mode, which I actually think is one of the game's highlights. Sure, the theme song is on a constant loop that won't stop, but actually fighting with Itchy and Scratchy inside the TV with all their friends surrounding the arena, I approve. Also, there's Ku Klux Klan.
And if you thought Ned was OP, get a load of this.
Get a load of this!
So you can actually take down Smithers easily like anyone else, but Mr. Burns is the problem.
It's Kern, stupid!
Boo Earns thinks it's a good idea to hurl mini nukes at the arena which leave explosions that take up most of the screen. That's not even remotely fair! Then again, I suppose cheating is a gift man gives himself. Also, it's not like there's a proper story mode or anything. There's a tournament where you play through a number of matches as each character in an effort to unlock more, but it gets repetitive and tiresome after a while, so you're better off just booting up the game, inputting the cheat codes, and then just playing random matches. Even better if you can sucker some poor bastard into playing with you.
And with that, I'm drawing this review to a close. There isn't much more outside of what I showed you. There's no like extra modes or anything. It's just fighting. So much fighting. So is it good? No. Not even remotely. This is a bad game. The controls are clunky, the graphics are passable at best and terrifying at worst. The music is abysmal. And the best thing about it is the character banter, which gets very dark very quickly. Lest we forget about the terror that is Ned Flanders.
I'm gonna kill Diddly Ilya. Thank you, Lord, for giving me just a weekly taste of bloodlust.
Oh my.
This was a video I made, and this was a video you watched, so thank you for doing so. If you like the random stuff that you just witnessed, then you can find more by clicking in the middle. On the left is my top 10 of games you should play around Christmas, so being February, it's kind of pointless. Or alternatively, on the right you have my review of Aladdin Nazira's Revenge, also for the PS1. Also, if you want to see more from me, subscribe or maybe like this video at least to show some support. It helps. It really helps. Well, I think that's all from me. Ta-ta!